What's up, people? Thank y'all for joining me tonight for another classic edition of Legends Week. This is season 2. If you've been following along, tonight we got a special treat, man. My man Wilbur Zain Shaw. If I'm not mistaken, he graduated in 1991. I believe I was like in middle school. But I just heard stories, tons of stories about the legendary Zain Shaw, man. So it's definitely gonna be a pleasure to have my man on, so I can hear the stories, directly from him, things that I had only heard about, like the 69-point game against Harriton and tons of other classic stuff, man. So when my man joins, it's gonna be a treat. Let me see. The legend.
Hey, dog.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How you feeling, man?
I'm blessed by the best, man. It's good to be here with you, man. Hey, one quick thing. You mind turning the TV down for me?
Yeah. Yeah, we good. We good.
It's a pleasure to be here with you, man.
Same here, man. It's an honor, man. I appreciate it.
No doubt. Right off the top, man, the whole point of Legends Week and Big Stars Lost Tapes, like the reason why I do it is because, one, I'm in love with archives. Individuals like yourself, I just don't want the younger generation, this generation, basically the older generations, I don't want them to forget about individuals like yourself, like your legacy, all the things that you did, and the newer school athletes, like the kids that you train, and the kids that are in this generation. I just want to educate them, man, so that when they see a guy like yourself, they don't just walk by like, oh, that's overhead. Like, no, that's one of the goats right there, man. So pay homage, man.
Hey,
So
I
just
appreciate it, man. I
this is
appreciate
just
it.
this is just me giving you your flowers, man, and just paying homage to someone who's given so much to Pennsylvania and beyond, man. So it's a pleasure to have you on tonight, man.
It's an honor, man. It's an honor, man. I'm here, man. I'm here. Appreciating the love, man. Appreciating it.
You already know. So this is just to let you know, this is gonna be a super treat for myself. I'm a Norristown Eagle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm a Norristown Eagle.
Yeah,
Class
we
of
had our run-ins.
95. Yeah.
We had our run-ins with y'all. We had a few run-ins.
Exactly. So I'm class of 95. So I was like, when you graduated 91, correct?
Yeah, came out in 91.
Yeah, so I was in middle school. I was a younger guy. I wasn't in tune to what was happening on the high school scene back then. So I had only heard a lot of stories about your legacy and all the things that you were doing. So this is a treat for myself because I'm going to be finding out a lot of things that I'm hearing for the very first time directly from you. So thank you very much, man.
Man, come on. Let's get it.
All right, so we're going to jump right into it. 10 random questions. I'm going to just ask you 10 random things just to kind of get us warmed up, and then we're going to get into our serious interview.
All
All right. Besides yourself, who are some of your favorite Clippers of all time?
right. Man, that's a long list, but I'm going to shorten it up, man, because who I seen, and the reason why I wanted to play the game, Marvin Dukes and Keith Taylor.
Okay.
Guys, man, play at it, go at it every day. But my whole project was tough. But to see those two guys every day, they made me want to play for the high school. I mean, I wasn't even interested in playing basketball. I just watched those guys play. So it got me in tune, man. But Keith Taylor and Marvin Dukes, just because that's the era I grew up in. So, those guys, man, influenced me a lot.
And were they 90s guys?
Huh?
I'm sorry, were they 80s guys?
Yeah, these guys came out before me.
Okay.
So, they the guys that was going against Billy Owens and them guys in Carlisle.
No doubt.
Yeah, I got 1 year, I heard so much about Billy before I even touched the floor. And I got to play against him 1 year. We lost to them that year. That was 88.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, those guys paved the way, man. Keith, like I said, those guys, man, that played for the high. Larry Yardbray, Shep Gardner, those guys, man, they was the guys I seen coming up. And then, the older guys with him, the Moles guys, man, all those other guys that did it. My uncle played for the high. The majority of the guys that come on my project, man, played for the high school. And they set the tone. They paved the way for a lot of us,
No doubt. Coming up in the 80s, what was one of your favorite cartoons?
Coming up in the 80s, my favorite cartoon, man, had plenty of, man. Bugs Bunny, man.
No doubt. Hands
Looney,
down. Bugs
a
Bunny.
Looney Tunes guy, man. Looney Tunes, man. That was my early morning thing, man. Every morning, jumping
No
up,
doubt.
getting ready for school, man. Looney Tunes, man. That was it.
No doubt. Let's keep it 80s. WWF wrestlers, one of your favorite.
Man, I wasn't really a big wrestling guy.
Okay.
But of course, man, you had like Jimmy Superfly Snooker.
Legend.
You know what I mean? Bob Backlund. I mean, I'm familiar with but I wasn't a real wrestling fan, but those guys, then, Hulk Hogan came around.
Of course.
But, Jimmy Superfly Snooker, man, jumping off the joint all crazy. So,
exactly.
Hey, those were some days, man. Exactly.
No doubt. In your playing days in the playgrounds and especially high school, late 80s, early 90s, what was the sneaker of choice? Like, what was, like, if you could have went with one sneaker, one shoe that you really loved back then, what would it have been?
That's easy. I'm a Michael Jordan guy.
No doubt.
Michael Jordan come around 84, 85, so that was the only thing I was rocking on my feet. Before that, it was just a pair of Nikes with a check on.
No doubt.
But other than that, Jordan top, it was it. That's all I do.
No doubt. You got your Sony Walkman, back in the 80s, before a game. What was you listening to back then?
Oh, man. You taking me there. Man, you taking me there, man. A whole bunch of everything, man. Run DMC, LL, Cool J, all those guys, man. What the early 80s was hitting for on the music side. It was that hip-hop music back then, man. So, then come, Big Daddy Kane, all those guys, man. So, yeah.
Of course.
That was it. On the earphones going to a game or something, man.
No doubt. Hey, I did some research, and I heard, I saw photos and everything, especially in West Virginia. You used to rock the one sleeve. Not sure if it's your right sleeve. It was cut off.
Yeah.
When did you start that, and then why?
Well, that came about, man, because summer of coming home. I think that was my 95 year. My last year at West Virginia, I was coming home. I was bringing a guy back home, man, and we got in a car accident. We got in a real bad car accident.
Wow.
So I was down for like 2 weeks. Determined to make a decision whether to play basketball or might don't play no basketball again. So it was like, so what happened was I had a whole bunch of scars on my left arm.
Okay.
So when I was home, I recovered. So I was home. So I'm getting ready to go play. I got a lot of my guys from the city and we ready to go play up in the tournament up in the fairgrounds. So they rushed me to get out the crib. So I only had cut off one sleeve. So I said, well, that one sleeve, I just turned it over and just covered my, cover my scars up. And that's what I did when I went back to school. So I just made it a thing. Like, that's something I did. So, it became like a fashion trend.
Got you.
I mean, because a Newsweek magazine that called West Virginia asked me, like, what's up with this fashion trend? I'm like, really, it was just about me covering my scars from a bad accident I was in. So it just was something that I ran with, man. I had fun doing it.
No doubt. That's why I appreciate that. In high school, what was your go-to move? These days guys got the step back, they got this and that. What was your one of your moves that was just unstoppable, you think, back then?
I don't know, man. I had a few of them. I had a few, man. I had the Euro before it was called the Euro. Like,
okay.
On that, step one way, come back the other.
Yes.
And it had multiple things, man. It was just playing off instincts.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Just playing off how the defense was just playing. So, back up, like I said, I loved it back then when I was in high school, man. Just playing off my talent. You know what I mean? So I wanted to get to the rack. My first year in high school, all I did was spot up in the corner and shoot threes.
Gotcha.
That's it. Coming off the bench, getting a few minutes here and there. You know what I mean? Get my feet wet.
Yes.
Corner, so when I get it, I'm launching it. So,
I know.
That's
what's up.
So that was it. So as I went along, man, my 10th grade year, I played with some solid veterans, man. Like I said, I played with a bunch of great guys, man. Like Mike John, I was always under his wing, trying to pick his brain, man. Those guys, man. Lamar Dotson, Galen Howard. Our team we had a solid team, man. Of course, with Jimmy Dennis on the team, Hassan Muhammad. I just can't pick everybody up right now, but that team, man, we was gritty, we was grind. We played for each other, and that's the reason why we won one.
Shout out to my man Jay Mack. I was talking to him earlier. He mentioned Keith Woods. Keith Woods.
That's what I'm forgetting. How can I forget Keith Wood? Like Keith Wood was our guy. We don't win nothing without Keith Wood being out there. So,
that's what my man Jay Mack from Norristown. He just remembers. He's like, yo, Keith Woods was the guy.
Keith Wood was a freak of nature, man. Just watch some of the stuff he do. Like, oh my God, he just do that out here. Like, it was crazy. But you can imagine how our practices was.
I can only imagine. Another 80s question, 80s, early 90s. What's one of your favorite Rocky movies?
Man, what, 1, 2, 3?
I mean, if you had to pick one, would it be him against Apollo, against Mr. T, the Russian? Which one was you, if you had to pick a favorite?
It'd be one against the Russian, man.
Got you.
Yeah,
Got
yeah.
you.
Going against all the odds, man. You know what I mean? He popping the drugs. He doing everything.
Exactly.
Right,
No
yeah,
doubt.
that was it. That was it.
Back in the 80s, you know, whether you was playing basketball and this and that, we're talking 80s, the culture
Yeah.
of the 80s. You was either breakdancing, a DJ, rapping. Were you in the breakdance crew? Was you breaking? What
Now,
was you doing back then? Was you an MC? What?
I wasn't into none of that.
Nah, none of that.
I wasn't into none of that. I mean, all my guys did that stuff, man. I'm
Yeah.
just playing basketball, man.
No doubt.
I'm just playing a game of basketball, man. Just being a teenager at that time.
No doubt.
Just
No
enjoying hip hop music and watching my guys from around my way break dancing. I tried it on my own.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I get around my cousin's house or something. I mean, we do a little something, but
yeah, no doubt.
You know, I wasn't into all that.
No doubt, no doubt. Last question. Back in the 80s, especially 90s, you know, we had a lot of, like, you know, talking about the boxing culture, boxing, a lot of great heavyweights, Mike Tyson, Holyfield, all them guys. Who was one of your favorite boxers back in the 80s, early 90s when boxing was, like, really good, you know, during our era?
Wow, man, man, bunch of them. I was a Evander Holyfield guy. Everybody that really fought on me for that guy. But yeah, heavyweights, I was a Evander Holyfield fan.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, I appreciate it, man. Just you know, getting us warmed up, man. So if you can, man, just I mean, I have tons of questions, obviously, but I just, you know, really want to respect you just talking, just telling your story without being interrupted. Just start from the beginning, man. Just tell the people who Wilbur Zain Shaw is, and just, you know, tell us where the story began, man, for you.
Man, well, of course, my name is Wilbur Zain Shaw, man. From the Wilmington Project out of Chester, PA. You know, man, grew up during a time where, man, everything ran rugged down that joint, man. Drugs was heavy. You know what I mean? Just trying to make a way out, man. So, you know, single parent, you know what I mean? My mom did her, raised me and my brother, man, to the best of her ability, man. She did a great job doing it. And, man, like I said, basketball was my way out. So, you know, man, made my way out of high school, took a trip to Allegheny Community College, ended up at West Virginia. Played a couple years across the water, man, you know, was trying to chase my dream like a lot of basketball players have, man. And then I just wound up getting into training some kids, man, like doing what I love to do, man, teaching the game, giving it back, running my program called NDO, man, short for No Days Off. So it's just like, man, I try to give the game back, but also, man, try to give them some time off the streets and just try to pick their brain, man, try to help them out as much as I can. Just trying to play my part.
No doubt. If you can, go back. Tell me what life was like, you know, growing up in the city of Chester. For anyone who doesn't know, you know, all the hurdles and obstacles and just different things that you were playing for. You know what I'm saying? Just you know, all the things you had to, you know, because when you're in the gym, that's one thing. But when you're out in the community, it's a whole different battle. You know what I'm saying? Tell me just, what was it like growing up in Chester, man?
Man, it was like any suburban area, man. Like I said, when you're dealing with, you know, poverty and you're dealing with issue with drugs, violence, you know, you just trying to, you know, just pave your way out, man. Try to mind your business. But in my community, man, and in my project, we care for each other. Like, we love each other. We care for each other. You know, things happen around us. But majority of my community, not just my neighborhood, not just the project, but like during that time, then everybody cared for everybody. Pretty much. And you had to, I mean, like any other rough spots in any community, man, any area, you're gonna have your little violence here and there. But for the most part, man, it was all about unity, man. You know what I mean? Like, we can go in any part of the city and play basketball because basketball is all we had. That was the outlet.
Okay.
You know, I went out my door, man, went straight around the corner, me and my brother, man, or we went down to the boys club and played basketball. It wasn't high school. It was to the boys club and back to the project. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But we can go to the Bennett or we can go to the LV. We can go all over, man, McCabe, to the, you know, to Memorial Park, to Chester Park, you know, but now times are so different, man. So, and that's what I said, man, with my program and everything, man, we're just trying to keep some of these kids safe, man, as much as we can, because it's not the same love no more, man. And like, you know, these young guys, man, they don't cherish each other. They don't care for each other too much. So I just try to stay in the young bucks' ear as much as I can, man, try to help them out. Like I said, try to help out as much as I can through speaking to them or whatever else that I can do. I'm just trying to play my part like a bunch of other people are.
No doubt. So when you think about coming up, you know, as a younger guy, when did you fall in love with basketball, or did you always have a love for it? Or
and once I started playing it, that was it. Like, you know, I mean, it was My uncle actually, man, one of my uncles took me over Smedley, man. This was when Chester Biddy was at his, Chester Biddy still doing his thing, but it was heavy at Smedley, man. Everybody that I knew played with basketball over there. So, this is where all my guys at. This is where everybody is at. Hassan Muhammad's Ain't It, like the guy named Ain't It, man. He was a scoring machine. This guy that I played with, he scored buckets, man, So I went over there, man. I tried out, and once I tried out, it was just like, oh, this is it. Jemiah Springfield, like guys that I played, grew up with, man. Like that's, So once I started playing, I mean, it wasn't else that it was going to happen. It was basketball. That was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
So you train now, so you understand that perspective. But what was it like back then? Describe, how was it like back in the 80s? Like, how did you develop your game? Like, was it just playing, just going to the court playing, or did you have a trainer, or what? How did you develop?
That's the one thing I try to tell the kids now. Like, we didn't have nobody that can train us. We didn't have nobody that was training us. Like, we watched the game of basketball and went outside and played it. The more I played it, the more I fell in love with it. The more like I said, like it was instincts. Like before everybody started calling the move a Euro step or a step back jump shot, we was doing it. Like we just didn't have a name for it, but we was doing it because like man, we played in the hood. We played 105.
Yes.
I mean, we played 105. We played game of 44. Man, there's 25 cats on the court. So you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like everything come into play. You learn how to go left. You learn how to go right. You learn how to see a hole. You got to be able to get your shot off quick.
Yes.
So as I started going along, man, it was like I tell all the kids that I come across, like my game was what I learned in my project. Like it's probably something that everybody say, but truthfully, man, like I've seen a lot of great basketball players come onto my project. Older guys just sit and just watch those guys play, man. Like I said, some of them guys played for the high school, Hot Shot, like Rockman, like all these guys, man, older guys, they played at a high level. Like, inside of that project we lived in, man, and it just put something in me, like to be, man, like, yo, this is where it's at. This is what I want to be, like, And then, like I said, I'm speaking for myself, my brother, guys that I played with, and then the guys that's from the project. We had to wait our turn. Because those guys are so good. Like they be like, man, you ain't ready to come out here. Like, and if you came out there, you got your teeth knocked out a few times. You got busted in the mouth and all that. So, man, everything that I was growing up playing the game, it came from that project that I played in. Like it was just I just developed as a player. Like it went from, like, truthfully, I got better from probably like my last year at West Virginia coming into that summer because it was more of my mental game than more of my athletic ability, and it transferred that way. And then when I started getting trained, it took me off to another level, man. Me, Ralph Blaylock, Charles Smith, that played at Ryder. We played together through the summers, man, preparing to go play overseas. And that was the best part about my summers that time. I was learning. And the game became so much easier for me to play.
Got you. When you were younger, just talking about earning stripes and developing and, watching the older guys and, being ready for your time to hoop in the projects and all, when did you realize in your mind that you were when did you start to realize that you were pretty good? Like becoming better than your peers, or just with older guys,
Summer of '96 probably, man, going back to school, getting ready for my last year of school. It was like everybody that I played, it was like it was slowing down. The game slowed down in my brain. So once it was like, oh yeah, I could see everything happening in slow motion.
Okay.
And I was better equipped. Like, I can go right a lot better than what I did growing up. Like I said, when we young, we just playing off our ability. Just off of, jumping out the gym all day long. But like I always try to preach to my kids and try to teach them, man, you got to learn how to play the game. Like, learn how to set your man up, get to a spot. That's the hard part about just slowing the game down in your brain. So once it was the summer of '96, man, I just felt like whoever's stepping in front of me, because I didn't care who I played against. Yeah. I don't care who you are. It's me and you against, we out here, let's go. Like, you want to tie your shoestrings, I'm going to tie mine up. We gonna have a good time playing basketball.
That's right.
That was it.
Hey, so if it's some younger individuals watching this right now that never got a chance to see you play, describe your game. Like if someone were to watch you like back in high school, 11th grade, 12th grade, what would they have seen? Like, what was your package back then?
Try to do everything well. I try to do everything. I try to do everything that that my body could give me. Like, not just score the ball. I'm going to play defense on your best player. I'm going to jump on him. We're going to have, like I said, it's war out here. So I want to go against the best players. And my coach at the time, when I was even in the 9th grade, man, he had a habit of putting me on, when the minutes I did get in, he put me on, the other team's best player. So it kind of, you know, I just took that on as a challenge. So, but, you know, as I got to my 11th, 12th grade year, man, it was, you know, talent was everywhere, man. Like, you know,
Yeah.
Rap Terry was a beast at Penwood. Like, those guys was tough.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Glenn Mills was out of this world. Like, you know,
Yes.
I don't even know how we beat those guys. Those guys were, man, 6'10", 6'11".
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
was that Turk Mott and those guys?
all those guys, man. Yeah, man. James Spears, man.
Wow,
crazy,
legendary.
So those, you know, but it was fun. Like that's what I said, man. The time that '89 team that we played and we won, man, we took on anybody. We didn't care. We was just like, we playing for each other. We wanted it bad. So
and that was your sophomore year.
That was my sophomore year. Yeah.
And
so like I said,
how many state champions were you a part of? One or two?
I was only part of one.
And that was your sophomore year.
That was my sophomore year. We came up short my last year, man. Came up short. Yeah, gotcha. wasn't the players' fault on that joint. I just don't say that, but that joint stuck with me forever, man. That's why I'm, you know, like we fell apart down the stretch, man. Not to the players' fault.
Yeah. Hey, help me to understand. Take me back to let's keep. I want to keep them separate. We're not going to talk about high school yet. Just talk about all your memories, any memorable experiences, any legendary stories from like the playground days, or any leagues you played in. Like, did you venture over to Philly, played any Philly summer leagues, or you know, tell me some stories, and also some of the players you played against in the summer leagues when you traveled and all that kind of stuff.
Man, I'm not real fitted with that type of stuff, but I remember coming to Harrisburg a lot, playing a lot of basketball in the summertime.
Okay.
Summertime, street ball, some of the best basketballs to go up there. Take that ride just to go up there and play some basketball.
No doubt.
But we stood up there with Sid Russell, man. Sid Russell, like a pioneer of, you know, helping young kids, you know, mentoring kids, man. He used to always be stationed up down Memorial Park. So he would take us up in Harrisburg, and we used to go have fun, man. Our summer leagues in our own city.
Yeah.
When we was playing down Memorial Park, whew, oh my goodness, some of the best basketball. You know, we was playing for like our old head in the project, man. You know what I mean? He was the Chester Lakers, man. He was a Lakers fan through and through, man. His name was Macaroni. Like, he was a diehard Lakers fan. You hear me? Like, so he had a team. He was from our project. It was called the Chester Lakers. So as a young buck, I couldn't wait. You know, like, you had to wait your turn to put on that Chester Lakers. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
So, and then it was like, you know, East Side going against the project, or the Cavs had, like, guys was good all over. Keith Wood, from the Gardens. You know, like, guys from the Bennett was really good. So those summers, man, was like some of the best summers. We couldn't wait. And then, man, Sunny Hill League. Yes. Yeah. Yep. So,
so you played in Sunny Hill when it was over at Temple, like at McGonigal Hall?
Yeah, the sweat box.
Yes.
Yeah, the sweat box. The sweat box. Man, Kareem Towns.
Wow. Like going head to head, or playing with each other?
Nah, playing against each other.
Wow, tell me about that, man.
Man, it was some of the best basketball. I look forward to playing me and Kareem, because it was like a Chester versus Philly thing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, a lot of my brother and you know, my brother was Jamar Shaw. My brother, I got a couple brothers that played for the High. Devin McClendon, Jamar Shaw, you know, cousins that played for the High. But those guys, you know what I mean? They was part of that stuff, man. But Kareem, playing against Kareem Towns, so they went to Cheney. So a lot of guys, you know, Philly guys, Chester guys went to Cheney. So they would say, look, man, we can't wait till the weekend. You know, y'all playing against those guys up there this weekend. So it was like, I can't wait till the weekend either. So, because, I mean, he was that guy. Like, he was that guy. Like, I knew playing against him, I better be ready to go. Like, you know what I mean? Bernard Jones, those summers up in Sunny Hill was like, Gustine Lake. You know what I mean? Those summers, man, was preparing me for what was ahead, man. Like, you know, that's why, like, the stage was never too big. I don't care who, like, the stage was never too big. Like, this is what I love to do. This is the game of basketball. So, and that's why I be trying to preach it to the kids, man. Like, if this is what you love to do, you got to treat it as such. You got to put the time into it, because once you step on the court, it's what you love to do. It's not hard. You just playing what you love to do. You just playing on a high level. So
that's right. Tell me about your high school years. From you start with just some of the teammates you had, and just talk about, you know, each year, or however you want to talk about your high school.
Man, like, I remember, like, coming to the High, man. Like, coming to the High. Couldn't wait to wear the orange and black. You know, my freshman year, you know, that team was, like I said, that team was, you know, Larry Yardbray, Jay Moore, you know, those guys were seniors. Shep Gardner, Al Clay. I'm just naming off a few.
And
You know
Shep
what I mean?
Gardner is the father of Shep that went to Penn State.
Yeah, they was my guys, man. They was my guys. They all took like those guys took me into their wing. You know, like I said, playing with those guys, I learned a lot my freshman year. We lost, wound up losing to those guys in the finals. You know what I mean? Like I said, Billy Owens just
To
took
Carlisle.
yeah, my freshman year. I got a year to play to see Billy Owens, man, because I was young. Like you know, like being a fan of Chester High, I didn't go to games.
Okay.
Like, you know, everybody, the city would empty out. The city would be, you know, everybody going into the games. I want to be around the way. I'm just trying to chill out and get on the court now as I can. Like, ain't nobody out here. I can get on the court and play a little bit. Y'all tell me about the games. Y'all get back. So
no doubt.
I always like, you know, like, I'm hearing about this Carlisle, Chester High losing to Carlisle. Billy Owens. Like, I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, okay. So when I got that chance to see him, sitting there like, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is. You know, he's telling, you know, from the stories like my guy Marvin and Keith Teller would tell me about those guys. They would lock the stadium down when they're green and white. I'm like, yeah, that's what it is. like yeah, it's Billy Ball or nothing. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, so man, so to witness that and experience that was one of the things, one of the highlights of my high school career. I'm like, oh yeah, he's really. I mean, he made it look so simple, man. At that time, being in high school, he was already a pro.
Yeah,
that's because he just made it look so easy.
Yeah, just curious. Did you did you start as a? I mean, I'm sorry. You played varsity as a freshman, or did you do JV and varsity, or just varsity?
Well, when I came in, I was playing JV, and you know, coaches see something in you, they move you up. So I was splitting time. So I was splitting time. A couple of us, me and Jimmy Dennis. I think maybe even Hassan Muhammad, but you know, we were splitting time between JV and varsity. So that's where, you know, like I was those minutes. You know, I was taking advantage of those minutes. So then I come back my 10th grade year, you know, like I said, a couple of those guys had left, so it was Mike John's show. You know what I mean? It was Mike John and Keith Wood's show, and Lamar and Galen Howard. So, you know what I mean? So it was their team. So, you know what I mean? But, you know, I was just trying to be part of it. You know, I remember that year we won it, you know, like I said, I'm trying to make my name. You know, still at the end of the day, I'm still trying to show y'all that I can play. Like, I know it's y'all team, but I'm out here for a reason. I'm on this team for a reason. Now I'm on varsity for a reason. So, you know, me and Keith Wood bumped heads a few times. You know, it was just like, you know, he thought I was trying to. I'm like, I'm not trying to steal your shine. I'm like, this is your show, but let me be part of the show. Like, let me be part of this, man. Like, I'm just here to play my part, though. This is your team. And once we had that conversation, because you know it was. You know how on teams.
Of course.
I start tripping the air. We didn't want that running around in our locker room. So we just had a team meeting, man. We cleared it out, and like I said, after that, we was ready for anybody. We went against the Rowley brothers up in the Seagull Classic.
Okay.
Great game, but we knew they wasn't going to beat us that year.
And what team was that? What team was that again?
Carlin Worley and his brother Jason Worley. They played for. What's the name of that team, man? We played them in the Seagull Classic, man. Somebody online could help us out, man.
Yeah, if anybody remembers, chime in.
Yeah, Carlin Worley and Jason Worley. They played for can't think of it right now, man. But we played them in the championship of the Seagull Classic. You know, at that time the Seagull Classic was really good too. You had Tolan Time from New York with Adrian Autry. You know, all those guys from New York was on the teams from Jersey, man, like had pros on their team.
So this was just like a classic that, you know, like during the year.
Yeah, this was like during the winter time of the year. It's called the Seagull Classic then.
Got you.
And trying to think of the name of their team, man. But, you know, it was on the radio. I don't know if it's was it Frankfurt? Not Frankfurt. Might have been Frankfurt, man. But, you know, that was the talk, man. You know, Philly guys, man, y'all gonna get y'all face cooked. You're like, man, we here for all that. You know what I mean?
Doubt.
Like we had a monster at the one, man. Like a lot of people, man, God rest his soul, my God, man, Mike John, man, he was the guy. He set the table for us all. Like he came off that joint, man. He was the glove before the glove. Like, you know what I mean? 6'3", 6'4", big out there, man. He took on like I said, he was ready too. So, you know, those times, man, we can't get them back, but they got some great experiences, man. Playing, you know what I mean? The year we won it, again, my 10th, like we went through some hurdles to get to that championship.
Yeah,
My
tell me about the run to get
we,
to
we went
really
through that, but we
up
only
to
lost
the
like two
championship.
or three games that year. We
Okay.
went like maybe 31-2 or something like that.
Uh-huh.
You know, and that's the love we get from the city of Chester. Like it's always debates, but what team was the best? I just love to be part of it. I was part of a championship team. But anyway, but that year going to the championship, man, like I said, Penwood was heavily stacked. Penwood was really good. You know what I mean? Glen Mills was really good.
Y'all played Penwood in the playoffs, like in the district.
Yeah, we had to get through. We played Harrisburg. We had to like teams. We get through Harrisburg, man. Norristown, Stilton Heights Fire. The teams was really good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we got through those guys, man. So we wound up having to play Glen Mills, I think in the Final Four, double overtime game out Westchester.
Wow.
Probably
I got that game.
Probably one of the best high school, one of the best high school games ever played. And I'm saying that just from a player standpoint.
Is that the game? Is that the game where the bleachers broke?
That was the second. We played them the next year in a double overtime game.
Okay.
But that first year, that '89 year, was amazing, man. That game was unreal. Like 12 guys foul out. You know, it's probably me and Keith Wood out there with like Jimmy, like guys that really don't get it. You know, like they got maybe 2 of their starters left. That's when they got Bobby Robinson on the team. You know what I mean? Michael, those guys was tough, man. Franklin Allen, like those guys was really good. So we get through them in a double overtime game to play Penwood at the Palestra to go to the state championship.
And
that threw it into a double overtime crazy. Man, listen, it was unreal.
And that was Rap Curry.
Man, Rap Curry shooting from half court. Like,
hey, real quick.
It was good, man. It was really good.
Man Sam, he confirmed with you. The Worley brothers was Frankfurt High. You had it right.
Frankfurt. They was tough, but we was ready. Like,
no doubt.
Like,
hey,
that's all we heard. We heard, man, you guys ain't ready for the Worley brothers, man. We like, man, we ready for anybody.
No doubt.
We had played against Trenton Central from Jersey. Yeah, they had one of the better players in this country on their team. I can't think of his name right now. His last name was Worley. But that game wound up getting cut short because the fans started fighting in that joint. So we was battle tested. We was ready. We played Glen Mills 5 times, man.
Wow.
We played probably Penwood 4 times to get to. Like I said, we had to beat Penwood at the Palestra to get to the state championship. That was another double overtime game.
Yeah. Tell me about Rap, because I didn't see him play. What was that like, man? What was Rap Curry?
Rap was different. Like he was just, you couldn't rattle Rap. He was big, strong, smart, like good with both hands, high school, and shoot it from anywhere. But like great vision. Like, you know, you might think he's gonna shoot it, make the right. He was magic. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not, you know what I'm saying? Like he was. What couldn't you had to get him off the court in order to have a chance? Like, you know what I mean? Or you just hoping he off.
Yeah.
Just hoping he off because, man, like that's my guy.
No doubt.
You know, that's my guy. That's my guy.
And that was the Final Four to get that was to get
we
basically like the Eastern Conference, you know.
Yeah, because once we got past them, we went up playing Brashear from Pittsburgh. We wound up, you know, that we got through them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So pretty much sound like the Final Four could have been the championship game.
Both of those games was the championship to us. We beat 2 of our rivals. We beat Glen Mills and wound up beating Penwood. I mean, that's why I said we looked at the state championship. No disrespect to that team, but we look like, man, y'all can't. We just had 2 battles that y'all ain't probably seen all year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, man, I'm talking about we left that joint scars, bruises. I ain't lying, man. We had bruises, scars, man, everything, man. Battle.
Yeah.
But as a player, that's what you love. That's what you love about the game, man. You go home sore.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You go home beat up. Like, that was worth every second of the game, man. They the games you live for. They the games you live for.
For sure. And then your junior year, how'd that pan out?
Junior year, man, we was kind of young. We was young, but we was young with talent. You know what I mean? And we just couldn't get over the hump. We couldn't. It took us a while to find chemistry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I said, remember Jemiah being on Springfield on that team, Damon Ross, those guys, man. We had a guy on that team, though, man, Howard Maxwell. He played everything good. This is like, you know what I mean? He did everything great, man. Like, he wore those guys. Like, he played football, basketball, lift weights.
Yeah.
He was amazing.
He did everything.
We was good, but we just couldn't get over the hump. You know, I think we wound up losing to maybe like Norristown or somebody.
That's what he said. My man J Mac reminded me about Binky Johnson from Norristown. Binky Johnson.
He was tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was tough, man.
And I think Binky was a senior then, but that was your junior year, I believe.
Yeah,
yep.
yeah. Man, we wasn't good enough. Just calling the speed. We was my last year, man. And like that was me, Jimmy Dennis, Hassan Muhammad, Orlando Clark. That was our team. Damon Cotton, that was our team. And like I said, man, I called it like I said, man. You know, the players didn't lose that game. I'm gonna just say that the players didn't lose that game.
Okay, so you guys made it to the finals then?
Yeah, we was one game away from going back to back. This was 89, 90, 90. I mean, we was going to try to get back to back titles. We was trying to be the first team to get back to back titles. So,
got you.
Well, at least get 2 rings. And
yeah,
fell short, man.
Got you. And then your senior year, you said that was your year.
Yep.
Like that was your.
Yep. Yeah. We had a wild one up. We had a wild one playing Harrisburg, man. Hassan won it on the last second shot. I had fouled out. They fouled me out with some ghost fouls, but
yeah,
Hassan pulled that thing out for us. We had got word that this one what's his name? Danielle Marshall was at
Reading. Yep.
Yeah, man. So I mean, I think the Mills had just got by them, so we were like, oh, we got them again. We got Glen Mills again. We got a chance to go back to the championship again, man. But wound up falling short, man. We was winning the whole game, man. Wound up losing it. Double overtime. Came up short, so.
And where was that game at?
That was out Westchester again.
I think that's 91.
That's the one where the bleachers collapsed.
Yeah, I think that game is on my YouTube channel. I think I had that game because Glen Mills won that game. That was Turkmont and all those guys as well.
Yeah. So that's how my high school, career ended, man. On a sour note, man. I was upset about that one, man. That joint lived with me for a long time too, man. I hated the fact that we didn't pull that one out, man. My brother was on that team as a freshman, but he wound up getting one himself. But
that's solo, right?
Yeah. So you know what I mean. So it is what it is, man. But that joint stung for a while.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Take me back. It's a legendary photo. You know, kind of like Wilt Chamberlain-ish. Black and white photo, vintage photo of you holding up the 69. Talk about that experience, man. Okay, all right, first of all, I just want you to relive that whole experience, like that game, like it's an experience. Talk about what was going on before that game, during the game, and just what type of mindset you were in that night. Just talk about the whole thing, man. Break it down.
It's crazy because I had a habit of playing basketball right before I went to a game.
Wow.
Yeah, playing in the project, playing in our joint, man. I'm playing basketball. We playing roughhouse. We doing something.
Wait. So you got a game that night, but earlier, right after school that day, in between, you warming up in the hood, balling.
Playing. I'm working.
No doubt.
So yeah, my guys would tell me, man, listen, man, man, like it's almost time. So you know what I mean. So I would go home, do what I got to do in the crib. Man, from the project to the high school was a hop, skip, and a jump. So I walked. Okay, so I'm already warm. Like that was every night. You know what I mean? So I'm already warm. So I'm already ready to go. So, I think I posted on one of my pictures like I was already warm. So when the game started, I think we was playing Harriton that night.
Yes.
And man, look, like I said, I was just a different type of player. Like I was ready all the time. Like I wanted to get out here and play basketball, do what I do, have fun doing it, compete at a high level. You know what I mean? Entertain the fans, man. Entertain our city. So I got going early, man, with a couple putbacks, fouls. So I, was like, okay, easy buckets, you know what I mean? And then, transition basketball, a couple layups, dunks. And man, before you know it, it's halftime. And, like my players, my teammates, like, yo, man, like you crazy out here right now. You probably got like almost 40 at halftime. I'm like, nah. They're like, yeah, man. Like, you know what I mean? So my point guard at the time was, we call him Ron Alexander, like to my teammates, like, he was like, listen, I'm coming to you. He's gonna get every assist from you tonight, because
that's right.
Our big guy Hassan Muhammad couldn't. That night was great, but it was strange. Like our big guy couldn't play that night, Hassan Muhammad, so I'm playing center. You know what I mean? And on top of that, our camera guy don't come to the game.
Are you serious?
I don't even have no footage of that game.
Dog, of all games, the cameraman don't show up.
Of all games,
Come
he don't
on,
show
man.
up. He don't show up to the game, man. He don't show up. I'm like, he don't show up. Wow. You know what I mean? So now like, you know, even my coaches, because our head coach, man, he wasn't into the, you know, stepping on the other team's throat. He felt always, you know, that's showboating and all that. So you know, so it took my assistant coaches to say, like, listen, man, you got a chance to do something special. Like, you know what I mean? They got in his ear and, you know, they talking into it. So like coming out the second half, I'm still ready to go. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not selfish basketball neither. I'm not out here like I'm running the floor.
Still
like,
playing within the system. Still playing
within
ball.
the system, yeah. And man, before you know it, I'm at 50, 60 points in 3 quarters.
Wow.
So, and I played like two minutes of the fourth quarter, man. He took me out. Didn't let, you know, so now I'm like, you might as well let me go for a bean. So now I'm come on. Why not? Like, why not? Why not, bro? Like, listen, why not?
Yeah.
So, you know, so now my teammates and the coaches like, you might as well go ahead and let him go for the 100.
Yeah.
He took me out like, nah, man, that's enough. So like maybe like 2-3 nights later, I don't know if it was Lisa Leslie or, man, Warren Wagner. I don't know if it was Wagner. I don't know.
But that was Lisa Leslie, I believe. Lisa Leslie.
Somebody had a beam.
Yes.
I go to practice the next day and just sit there and just look at my coach with this look on my face like, I told you should have let me go for the beam. You know what I mean? So, but, you know what I mean? But
that was Lisa Leslie. She scored 100. She scored 100.
Yeah, so, but.
That could have been your beam, man.
Oh, man. But, like I said, man, it was to do something like that, man, like not having, like, that wasn't on my mind. Like, that wasn't intended. It just happened within the flow of the game. So, man, it was something like, wow, like, you know what I mean? Like, just reading it, like, because I wasn't one of those, I tell a lot of my kids, I joke with them because I know some of them do it. And, you know, I don't think it's a good thing. And, you know, some parents even do it with these kids now, man. They run straight to the scoreboard.
Yeah.
The book and see how many.
Yeah, run to the book.
Like, come on, man. Like, you setting them up to lose. Like, you know what I mean? I was never that type. Like, all right, you want to tell me about it tomorrow when the paper come out, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't running to the table. I ain't, like, you know, like I said, somebody would tell me. Like, you know, a lot of my guys from the hood, man, they keeping score.
Yeah.
So, you know, they told me, like, yo, you went crazy tonight, man. Like, you went bananas tonight, man. So, like, the next couple of days was like, you know what I mean? Like, it was like, for me, it was like, wow. Like, you know what I mean? The attention that was coming to the school, you know what I mean? They came there, the papers and everybody come there, and they got me standing there with this cardboard pieces of paper with 69 on it and the basketball. I'm like, hey.
So that happened after, like a couple of days afterwards when the story traveled? Like with the picture and everything?
Yeah, like it came out in the paper. Then like the next couple of days, man, you know, I'm not even looking for nothing. I'm going to practice. They like, man, you got to get dressed up. And I got a pair of all red Air Ones on my, they all red. And I got to get in the orange and black. I look real crazy, you know what I mean? So there's a picture up on my wall that I have. There's a picture of me and my dad, but this is like, that was the picture. Like, so, but it was the experience, man, and the attention. It was good for my family.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what I mean? So that was my approach. Like, what's good for me is good for my family.
Of course.
Like,
Yeah.
I make my mom look good. I make my father, I make my family proud.
That's awesome.
That's what it was all about, man. I was playing. I had, you know, man, leaving Chester High, just jump the gun, man. Leaving Chester High, going to school. My whole thing was, man, I want to go to school so I could have the young bucks behind me say they can go to school.
That's right.
Like, I mean, to any school in the country. You know, not no disrespect to the small schools, like, but man, my talent was too good to just settle to go to any little small school. And that wasn't no knock on a small school, but I want to showcase my talent on the big stage, in the D1. That was my dream.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Like I said, to do that night, man, it was like part of the dream. Like, it was like, man, wow, man, like, you know what I mean? This was great. So, you know, then after that, it was just like, you know, I just stayed in the mix of what I do.
Yeah.
I played basketball like every night on a game night.
Yeah. Hey, question. Curious, like everything's changed. Like, okay, we're talking about like, you know, 1990. You know, people nobody got cell phones. Everybody got pagers and beepers and all that. You know what I'm saying? It's different.
The Motorola two-way pagers and all that.
Yeah, ain't nobody rolling around in the hot cars of the day. You know, you was trying to get the Jetta with the MCM rag top. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff. Everything was different. So you know, I say that to say there was no YouTube, there was no Instagram, none of that stuff. So nowadays you have a big game. actually during the game, people are tweeting and all during the game. You know what I'm saying? It's halftime. Zain Shaw, if this was then, if that was now, it's halftime. Zain Shaw has 50 at halftime. The word is going instantly.
Right.
But so describe to the younger generation what it was like then, having to look at how big it was to look at the newspaper the next day.
It was like I said, like it was like, you know, you like it was a dream, like, you know, like you felt great, like you felt great, like you got ink, I got ink, like I'm on my name splashed across the back of the paper for doing what I love to do, like, and it was like a moment that you probably like you dreamt about as a kid, like, you know what I mean, like to have those type of moments. And it wasn't, like I said, I didn't intend on that happening. It just happened within the game of the game. And if I knew it, man, I had put up crazy numbers. Like, you know what I mean?
No doubt.
I'm still mad. He didn't let me get 100. Let me get 100.
Describe the rest of the senior year. How the rest of the senior year panned out. Then we'll transition.
Well, like I said, my senior year, man, I was hungry on getting back to the big dance. Hungry on getting back to another championship. That was all with me, Jimmy, and Haas focused on all year. Like, we knew in art, but the Del Val, we knew our biggest hurdles was Penwood, you know what I mean, and Glen Mills. You know, no disrespect to Enterbros and Academy Park. They gave us good games, but we knew we had to get through Glen Mills and Penwood to get to where we wanted to get at. And man, we worked hard all year. You know what I mean? We had fun that year. We worked hard as a team. But like I said, that last game, man.
Yeah.
Last game,
hurts.
That joint hurt, man. That, like, it came down to coaching.
Yeah.
It just come down to coaching. We was winning the whole game. We winning the whole game. Now, you know, we was up by 10, 12 the whole game. It's all, we got this in the bag. We going back to the chip. Need 2 rings.
Wow.
I want to be one of the first players to have 2 for the high. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
Oh, but man, I had that joint fall short the way it did. It hurt. It hurt a whole lot. It didn't just hurt me. It hurt my teammates.
Yeah. All right. So, besides basketball, besides high school basketball, I know besides high school basketball, summer league, a big thing for players of your caliber back then, when high school hoops wasn't going on, it was a lot of camps going on. What are some, like, ABCD? Like, what are some different camps that you may have played in during the summer?
Well, we went to I can't think of the name of the camp, but we went to the camp in Pittsburgh. Like, yearly, we went to a Pittsburgh. It was the Pitt camp. We went to that a couple of years in a row. And I think they still run that one camp over in Jersey. It's that Hoop Scoop, or I think
Hoop Group or something.
We used to go to that camp. We used to go to that camp, like, like teammates. And at that time, man, AAU was just like kicking in.
Okay.
I mean, AAU was just coming around, and we started traveling a little bit. You know what I mean? Me and I remember, man, going out to Denver, Colorado.
Wow.
USA All-Stars versus the Denver All-Stars. Chauncey Billups was on Denver All-Stars, like, amazing.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, Chauncey was out there putting it up from, man, outside the gym. It was like, wow, that's Chauncey Billups, huh? Like, so we went out there, man, Hassan. Then we took a trip, went down to Atlanta. Then we wound up playing at the University of Delaware, where I had, like, dislocated my shoulder, wound up trying to play, but I couldn't finish it out. But like I said, man, it was just a few camps. What we did a lot in the summer, during that time coming up, we played in a lot of local leagues. Mm-hmm. We played in like the Ashton Summer League, the Media Summer League. It was Eddie Stone Summer League. You know what I mean? We just put a team together, the coaches, and then like I said again, we had the Sunny Hill League. Mm-hmm. Like that, especially when we played for the high. We played for the high, that was mandatory. We was playing for the Sunny Hill League. And we had to go to Upper Bound too. Don't forget that part. Uh-huh. Upper Bound was out in Swarthmore. We had to go to school in the summertime, and then we went out. Then we went and played ball in the summer at Sunny Hill League.
Got you. That AAU team. Do you possibly remember the name of the AAU team you played with? And who some of your teammates were that you traveled to Colorado with?
And I can't even remember, man.
Nah.
Those are like, if this was my brother, man, he probably can give you every player name.
Yeah.
He could run them off, man. I just remember Hodge was on my team with
me.
Man.
I know for me, I know how it is. Sometimes some memories are just kind of like a blur.
Yeah, man. I'm not, I don't, man, I don't keep up on that stuff like that.
It's all good. So one of the things, when I was doing some research, you were, I saw you were Daily Times Player of the Year. What year was that?
That was my senior year.
Senior year, Player of the Year.
Yep.
Got you. I know. Besides AAU and all that kind of stuff, another big thing for us, like down in the District 1 area, pretty much the creme de la creme, the end of the year, big hoorah for everybody, especially the seniors. Everybody goes up to Conshohocken and plays in the Donofrio. Did you play up there at the Donofrio?
I played. Well, see what happened. I don't think I played up there. I played a lot. I played up in Conshohocken a lot. But what happened? I don't think I played in that league.
You may not have played in the Donofrio. Okay.
Nah.
Okay.
I didn't play in that. I played in. Like I said, I played in that Conshohocken League, Gustine Lake League in the summer. We went up there a couple summers. A lot of like I said, man, like I wanted to play more than I did anything. I just wanted to work. I just wanted to get on the court and play basketball. Like I shied away from a lot of like the camp stuff. Like I remember I did play in the Temple with John Chaney's. I went to John Chaney's camp.
Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah, that was fun.
Gotcha. Tell me about I was doing some research, you know, and I'm curious. Tell me about the whole all right, two parts. First, just tell me about how your college recruiting was going. You know what I mean? You know, back then, you know, guys had the shoebox full of letters. And tell me about the schools that was, you know, interested in you. And then what ultimately wound up happening or that led you to going to Allegheny Community, the JuCo.
Man, if I had the time to really break it down to you, I would. But I'm just trying to shrink it.
No doubt.
Playing at the high, I was playing at the high school. Coach, his name was Len Gordy. He was coaching at Clemson. He's from the city of Chester. So I was already locked in to go to, like, I was already going to go to Clemson. Like coming up, like, you know what I mean, once I'm done high school or whatever, you know what I mean, come out of college, I'm going to Clemson. Playing the ACC at that time, you know, the ACC was stacked with, you know, I ain't got to tell you, Carolina, Maryland, Duke.
Yep.
It was really good, you know what I mean? So that was the plan coming out of high school. So unfortunately, didn't get my SAT. You know, at that time, you know, like, see, things are different, man. At that time, like, you know, not nobody's fault but my own, like, maybe, but nobody pressing us to take the SAT. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we took the test, we prepared for it, but it was like at the last minute type of stuff. You know what I mean? So
like,
but I wasn't
scrambling around trying to.
I wasn't preparing for it like I should have been prepared for it.
Yeah.
So I came up short. So you know what I mean? So all right, I had to go to back row, so I went to JuCo. But as far as what you said with letters, man, like I had every school in the country. Like I won, you know, I loved Kentucky at the time. I didn't mind, you know what I mean? Kentucky, it was Kentucky, Clemson. I even like Temple at the time. Like if I wanted to go anywhere home, it would be Temple because, you know, John Chaney teams was always good. You know, playing deep into the summer. So I wasn't concerned about, you know, where I was going to go to school because I had my intentions on going to Clemson. So anyway, you know, I'm at Allegheny from these 2 years that I stayed there. Schools coming from everywhere, Wake Forest, Georgia Tech, like they coming from everywhere. But they all knew that I was going to Clemson because of the assistant coach that I was tied into. So,
gotcha.
So what happened, man? Like he wound up catching a bad break. This is my last year. This is going on my last year at Allegheny. Like a lot of people don't know. I'm giving it to them right now because, you know, like, man, the one thing about living in the city of Chester, man, like you gonna get a bunch of negative people always talking about you. And I'm one of them guys, man. I used to let it rub off, you know what I mean, go down. You know, I locked in early on that. Like, man, I'm not letting nobody get underneath my skin. I don't care what they talking about. I know what I'm trying to do because I heard it. Like, you know, man, you know, first of all, being young, I got to spin it back because being young, you know, putting the pressure on you, like, he ain't good. Man, I'm not supposed to be good at 6 and 7 years old. You know what I mean? I tell that right now. Like, your babies ain't supposed to be good at 6 and 7. Why you screaming at them? Like, they supposed to just have fun. So anyway, that's part of it, man. That's part of it coming out of the city of Chester. You know what I mean? Like, because that's all we do. So, you know, a lot of people expect you to be this and that, but like, I don't play this game for y'all. I wasn't playing it for you anyway. You know what I mean? I'm doing it for me and mine, like, you know what I mean, my family. So anyway, like I said, man, then, you know, playing for the high school, living with those expectations, like, is he gonna go to school? Is he not? He ain't gonna go to school. He's gonna be right back home, man. I got my eyes on going to school and trying to go on further playing ball. So anyway, you know, that was my motivation. Like, all the negativity was my motivation to make it out. Like, you know what I mean? That's why I said, like, so So leaving that joint, man, leaving there, having to go to JuCo, great experience, away from everything, shut away from the city life, man, up in the mountains with nothing but a couple stores. You know what I mean? With a couple stores and nobody, nobody I'm familiar seeing, like nothing. Yeah. So, but I bowed down to it. I sucked it up, and I grew from it. I grew a lot. I grew a lot. So now I come up to, waiting on a letter of intent to come in. To sign. Man, I'm coming to the crib from working out, looking on the ticker, ESPN little ticker, man. Coach Gordy, resigns from Clemson. So I'm sitting there like, hold up, like, what's going on? I ain't received a phone or nothing. Like,
wow.
So now my heart. So now I'm sitting here like, what's going on? So I'm trying to call the school and get no answer. So I wound up getting in touch with him. So he like, look, man, your letter should come in, blah, blah, blah. So now that was the snowball. Like, I'm quite sure a lot of ball players got the same type of experiences, man. Like, I was expecting to go to school there, man. When things hit the back burner, like it kind of spun my whole thing around. So now all the schools that had interest in me, they signed somebody else or did whatever else. So now never got the letter. So now I'm trying to get to school. This is my last year at Allegheny. So now I'm pressed to try to get to a school. I ain't got too many schools that's trying to give me an arbiter because it's the last signing period. Yeah. I'm just waiting on the letter to come in so I can sign it and be off to the into the ACC. So that snowballed on me. So now I think I had took a trip out to Creighton. Mm-hmm. They had showed some interest, man. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna just take the trip. Like, took the trip out to Creighton, good school and all that. I come back. So I told them I'd get back to them. When I get back, man, it was like, well, West Virginia calling about you too. So from Allegheny Community College to West Virginia, I'm like another hour up the highway. So I made an hour 15 minutes. So took the ride, man. I'm like, I gotta get in school.
Yes.
I gotta get in school. They giving me full scholarship. That's all I got. Yeah. So that's all I have. So took it, man. Try to make the best of the opportunity, man. Yeah. That's like, what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't what I was looking for, but I had to do what I had to do to get in school. Like, what I mean? So, it was a great experience, man. But it was just like everything got turned sideways after that.
Yeah. So tell me about that West Virginia experience, and what did you turn that into?
Man, well, again, man, I went there with the intention on letting these guys know that I can play basketball. You recruited me to come here, like, and the coach at the time, name was Gail Catlett. He sat in my crib with my mother and my brother, man, watching film, and watching film. What's up, Chloe? One of my girls. Yeah, watching film, man, and it's my job to help you get to the league. Mm-hmm. I'm like, all right, sound good. I'm coming to West Virginia. Like, he's looking at the film, like, yo, you can go. Why you not? So I had to tell him, like, well, I was signed to go here and there. Yeah, it's another one of my young boys. What's up, Isaiah?
No doubt.
Yeah, these are the kids that I train, man.
That's what's up. I'm sure they enjoying the stories too.
Yeah, so man, that's what I wound up being there, man. It was
hey, real quick.
What's up, Manny?
Hey, real quick. Hey, real quick. I forgot to mention at the top of the hour, Instagram, they only give us an hour at a time. So cool. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna end this one and then save it so I can save it to my phone, and then in about a minute or two I'm gonna start a new one. Then just stand by until I start a new one. Then just rejoin and send me another request. All right. All right. So everybody, if you tuned in, appreciate it. You've been tuned in to the story of Zain Shaw, the legend, Chester legend. Appreciate y'all tuning in. I'm gonna end this story, and we're gonna come back with part 2. We're gonna wrap it up, and also I'm gonna have Zain. I'm gonna have a nice Q&A at the end. I'm gonna let you interact with the people, let them ask you some questions as well. All right.
That's cool.
All right, cool. I'm gonna tap this one out, and I'm gonna start a new one in like a minute or two.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Hey, what's the deal? It's your boy Big Star Raw Sports Legends Week here with the Chester High School legend Wilbur Zain Shaw. The first hour has been crazy, man. It's part 2. About to get into part 2. He had left off talking about his start at West Virginia. You know, the coach, you know, talked about the transition from Chester and to Allegheny Community College, then to West Virginia. So we're gonna pick up there.
There we go.
All right, we good?
Yeah, man. What's up? What's
All right,
up?
so yeah, so the last thing you was talking about, the last thing you mentioned was, you know, the coach was in the coach was in your living room talking to you and your brother and everybody,
Yeah, man.
and you know,
Yeah, man. Talking about, you know, what he was going to do, man. The promises he was, you know, the promises he made. So I took it for what it's worth, man. You know, I took his word for it. But, you know, I think the system didn't fit my style of play. But I tried to make the best of it. No excuses. That's what it was, man. I mean, I signed up to go there. So, you know, I just wanted to play basketball, man.
Yeah.
Get an education
yeah,
and play basketball. At that time, the A-10 was stacked.
of course.
That's why I didn't mind going to the A-10 and playing, you know, man, Temple, you know, Temple was one of the best teams in the nation, and UMass was the best team in the nation. You know, everybody was good, man. St. Bonnie, St. Joe's, teams was good. So
Yeah. Hey,
you know,
so describe just if you can, and you played 2 years at West Virginia, correct?
yes,
Got you. So just
93 to 95.
got you. So just talk about those 2 seasons, man. Anything you remember about those special moments? Any big games,
Yeah,
opponents, anything?
Just remember, man, going against, you know, that was the experience, man. First of all, you know, that's what I've been preparing myself to do since I started playing basketball, was to get on the D1 level and play at the high level against some of the better players in the country. I knew I could do it. Like I knew I could play against anybody in the country. So that was the one thing that I wanted to do. And I wanted to play against, like, you know, these guys that was on my team, you know, like in practice. I wanted to go against those guys. It was always, like I said, again, as a ball player, it's always about, you know, proving yourself, that you belong, that you belong to be out there. So, and my first year there, man, it was like the whole team was, you know, seniors.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Marcellus Basie, Mike Boyd, Ricky Robinson, Pavarius Green. I think my man Mike Wilson, and all those guys was good guys, man. A couple guys, man. Mike Boyd, he was from Jersey. He was our 2 guard. You know what I mean? I was coming off the bench, playing 3 behind Pavarius Green, PG Green.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, man, that was a whole entirely different experience than playing high school ball. And honestly, man, playing at Allegheny prepared me. Playing at Allegheny Community College, you know, Stevie Francis went there. He came there after me.
Whoa, for real?
Stevie came there after me and turned the whole thing off.
What?
So,
wait, like a couple years after, like right after you left?
Like a year after I left there, he came there.
So wait, had things lined up differently, you could have possibly been at Allegheny with Stevie Francis.
Playing with Stevie Francis. Can you imagine? I think Stevie was a lefty too, and I'm a lefty.
Yo, so, that would have been crazy.
And my coach there, Bob Kirk, man, God rest his soul, man, he allowed me to be me. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? He allowed me to be me, and he also, you know, like, let me see the stat sheet after the game and pointed out, you know, in red marker, you see the things you did wrong, and put it on me to correct those things. Instead of, you know, like, some coaches got a different way of, you know, getting through the players, but I learned a whole lot, and I respected my coach from there because he like I said, he allowed me to grow up, you know, and figure it out on my own. So when I got to West Virginia, it was just like, okay, you know, I'm here ready to play, man. It's one of the better games I've seen. Was Gary Trent. Remember Gary Trent?
Of course, I remember Gary Trent. Of course.
Oh, my goodness.
Gary Trent was diesel.
Man, that joker came on our gym and gave us 40 and 20.
Monster he was.
Oh, my goodness gracious. That's why they call that man the Shaq of the Mac. It was an overtime game, man. I think we wound up losing that game. No, we won that game, but he put on the show, man. He put on the show, man. Those guys that was playing at Pitt at the time, you know, Pitt in West Virginia, you know, we had the backyard brawl.
Okay.
You know, he was big in the middle with those guys, those big horses in the middle, man. Like I said, it was always a joy playing against Eddie and Aaron at Temple. You know what I mean? You had Bernard Blunt on at St. Joe's, like, you know, some talent.
Tell me about the little wars, or, you know, anything you remember about the Temple games that you played against.
Well, those games for me was all about, man, just because especially when it was home, that's like it's home for me. So a lot of my city tried to come, you know, they came out to represent and support me. But for some reason, man, my coach used to try to play me sweet.
Oh, man.
Now, I'm gonna call it like this is raw sports here, man.
100%. Let's keep it all the way raw. We got to keep it
Yeah,
raw.
man. Like, yeah, man. My coach, man, he would pull some old crazy stuff on me. I couldn't understand it, man. Like he didn't want me to play in front of my hometown.
Wow.
Like, he did it to me. He did it to me when we played at Temple.
Wow.
And he did it to me at St. Joe's. He did it to me at St. Joe's. I had run off like maybe 13, 14 points in a row, and he took me out and never put me back in.
Wow.
Yeah, he did it to me. He did it to me at Temple too, man.
Took me out. The home crowd, man. That's you want to see, let the home your people that see you grow up. You know what I mean?
But when they came to our school, I'm there. I'm playing. You know what I mean? I played a pivotal part. You know, in a couple wins against Temple at our school, man. Temple a 3 to send it in overtime, a 3 to win it in overtime. So I had my moments, man.
Yeah.
But again, I had to wait till my last year there. You know what I mean? To really feel like it was my show a little bit, and felt more comfortable within the offense that he ran, because it was so complex. The offense was a whole bunch of cutting and backdoor here, and so it was something that I had to learn and had to adjust to, man. And it was, like I said, I always took on everything as a challenge, man. I ain't back down from nothing. So my guy, man, right here, man, Red Bricks Forever, man. That's my old head y'all right there, man. To always look out for me, man. Keep me on it. You know what I mean? Keep me out the way, man. Just always making sure I got back to school, know what I was supposed to do what I was supposed to do. That's what that's, man, around our city right now, man. That's what I'm saying. We need all hands on deck, man.
Of course. It takes a community for sure.
And back then it was different, man. Everybody back then played a part in helping us, like, try to reach our ultimate goals, man. Like, everybody in my hood, man, everybody in my community, man, in my project, man, they wanted to see, a lot of them anyway, wanted to see what was best for me. So, and that was what was driving me, man. I was trying to be the first. I was trying to be the first one to punch that ticket, man, you know what I mean, in the league, man, for my family and for my project, man. I wanted that bad, man. It killed me when it didn't happen, man. That was another moment, man. It tore me down, man. But, went through a little, you know what I mean, went through it for a little bit. So, man.
Yeah. We'll talk about that in a second. Question. I was scrolling through your Instagram.
Y'all.
I was scrolling through your Instagram page, and I saw a nice couple clips of against I'm not sure if it was going against UMass. It was a nice move. You went baseline, went up like near Marcus Canby, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, laid it with the right.
Yeah, talk about that, man.
Man, like I said, as a basketball player, they're the games you got on your calendar with check.
Yeah.
We playing against the #1 team in the nation.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? We early in the year we played in the Hall of Fame game.
Okay.
Against UMass. That's really getting the season started.
Yeah.
And they whipped our, man, they beat us by almost like 50.
Wow.
Yeah, the game just wasn't good for us, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I think I shot the ball 5 times and not one shot felt good. And I as a ball player, I just got to do something else. So that's why I say, man, playing basketball, like these kids out here, they think they got to score a whole bunch of points all the time. I'm like, listen, you could have a great game without scoring a bunch of points.
That's right.
Because when you're having a bad game, you gotta do other things to help your team win. So that game, I was just trying to grab rebounds, play some D. You know what I mean? I didn't want to take another shot. But when they came to our school, man, we was ready. Like we bust our tail all week in practice, man. We felt good about the matchup, and we just came up short in overtime. But play against those guys, man, I live for those days. I live for that. Like playing against Temple, I live for those, man. I live for those moments. Playing against Eddie Jones and Aaron McKee, come on, man. Going against Eddie and Ed, like Bernard Blunt at St. Joe's, like these guys, they good. Like, you know what I mean, man. Aaron McKee jump shot had to be the hardest jump shot ever to block. And that thing was water.
Tell me why. Explain. Tell me more.
Because it came from he shot it from somewhere here, and I don't care how close I got to that joint was water. Like, it was like, man. I mean, got me running in the zone. I'm trying to catch him in the corner of the zone. He draining that joint in my eye. But those moments, man, like I said, I love them, man. Like, that was part of my journey. Man. I was trying to make it to that ultimate dream, man, like a whole bunch of players tried to. Man.
So that's a good time for us to segue, and we almost wrapped up. Talk about life after West Virginia, what your goals were, and kind of how things how things played out for you.
Man, my life after West Virginia was, the ultimate dream, man. The ultimate prize, man, was to, hopefully get a chance to play in the NBA. And you know, man, to sit home and then, you know, watch the draft, watch the rounds go by, man, and you know what I mean, you're looking at some players that you played against, or you know what I mean, you watch them play, and you're like, my talent better than that, you know what I mean, and not to get a call, man, like, you know, set me back a little bit, man, put me in a state of depression for a little bit. I was out of, but you know, it was part of it, man. It was part of, I guess, what was supposed to happen. You know what I mean? I couldn't, I had no control of what was happening. And, you know, you got to come home. You got to hear people say, yo, why you home?
Yeah.
What you doing around here?
Yeah.
I heard this and that.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, like, I'm like, man, you know, man, get out my face. You don't know what you're talking about. Like, so, you know, man. So, man, I came out of my funk, man. Because I went overseas for a few years.
Okay.
I went
overseas. So real quick, before you talk about the overseas experience, if you don't mind,
yeah,
because I mean, it's this. I appreciate this moment of you being transparent, because it's a lot of people that go through this experience of like, okay, we're talking about this is Zain Shaw, man. This is the GOAT right here. All your life, not necessarily like saying it's been about you, but like, I mean, oh, you step on the court. Are we picking Zain? You know, Chester, Zain,
yeah,
West Virginia.
right.
You know what I'm saying, Zain.
Right.
But for to have almost possibly in your life the first experience of your name not being called.
Yeah.
Like help me to understand mentally
what
that's like, and then how you got over that hurdle.
It was rough. It was rough. It was rough, man. It was rough. It was rough, man. It was rough. That was my dream. You know what I mean? It was right there. You know what I mean? Like I just knew I was gonna get a phone call. I knew I was gonna get a phone call, man, and then to come home, I gotta come home. Like I said, I gotta hear all the negativity. I gotta hear that, you know, you wasn't good enough, or the made up stories. You know, he came home to do this, or he came home to do that. So, you know what I mean? I locked myself away for a little while, man. You know what I mean? And, you know, locked myself away for a little bit, man. Dealt with, you know, trying to put it together that I just didn't get the opportunity. And I felt though I let people down as far as like my family down. Like I let my family down, and you know what I mean? I just knew I had to hear in the back of my mind, or the back of my head, like, told you he wasn't going to do this, and I know he wasn't going to do that, and not knowing my story. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? Not knowing, man, like I was doing everything, like even from West Virginia on, still trying to play ball with no agent. Like, you know, I didn't have an agent, didn't have nothing. You know what I mean? I was just playing the game. You know what I mean? Just hoping I catch a break. And, you know what I mean? It was rough, man. It was rough. Like, and that's why I'm here today, and I can speak to the kids, man. Like, I dealt with everything. Like, I mean, you know, not being able to play basketball, I bumped my head a few times, you know, living, man. I had to live, right? So in the city of Chester, you got to live. So, you know, bumped my head a few times, man, but I bounced back out of it. Like, you know what I mean? I bounced out of it. You know what I mean? I had to spend some time, you know what I mean, do weekends, man. It was, you know what I mean, I was selling movies and stuff like that, man. I had to make a way, you know what I mean? And it's hard for a joker that played basketball for his whole life to transition over to doing something that I didn't want to do. But I have responsibilities, you know what I mean? I have responsibilities I had to take care of. So I wound up getting in a little trouble, but that was like the wake-up call. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what happened, I was actually ready to start doing weekends, man, and I played in an alumni game up to high school. And it kind of like, it was like, you know what I mean? It was like all the pressure, everything was just squeezing out of me that night, you know what I mean? And my brother called me. I wasn't even going to go. You know what I mean? A couple of guys that was on here, my guys that that's on here now, man. Naeem Scott, they my guys, man. You know what I mean? You got to come up here, man. You got to play, man. Pooh Evans and all those guys was up there. Raymond Strickland, man, those guys was up there playing. So my brother, like, man, coach, pick it up here, man. They want you to get up here, coach. You know what I mean? Coach wants to see you, man. I'm like, all right, man, I'll come up there, man. And then once I got on the floor, man, and started running around on that floor, it was like I could just be free. Like, you know what I mean? It was just like I just squeezed out all that anger and frustration that I carried around. Man, listen. I tell my wife and I tell people that I'm close to, man, that I was down for like 3 years in a state of depression that couldn't nobody understand. I didn't carry it away where I'm walking around looking all crazy, but I carried it inside, like, you know what I mean? It took me a while to overcome, man. But once I overcame it, and it was like, I seen my guy posted a little while ago, my guy Yaj, like, it was like, I was talking to someone, man. I was talking to somebody I think I was just talking to, and they told me, like, you know, ever think about, man, maybe your blessings not in the gift in playing basketball for a living. And I had to sit and think about it. Like, maybe your gift and your blessing is to teach it. Because I started training people. They're like, just let's fall in love with what you're doing. And it was like, I thought about it, I'm like, maybe that's it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And
maybe this whole experience wasn't really about you.
And maybe the more I thought about it, was like, that's it, man. Like,
God always has a plan, man.
God had his plan for me, man. And me not playing the game on the highest level, he wanted me to be out here and do what I'm doing. Man, I love to do what I do with the kids, man, that I deal with, man.
Yeah. Hey, pause, because I want you to talk about that. But I don't want to miss. Tell me about your overseas experience, and then come back into kind of what you're doing now.
Oh, man. Well, again, shout out to my guy, Kerry Kiner, man. His name, Kerry Kiner. Like I said, I was playing. Now I'm home. You know, didn't get drafted, whatever. So we had this facility called the Sun Center. It was out in Aston. It was a facility full of basketball courts. You know what I mean? We played summer league out there. Guys from St. Jules, all those guys came out there, man, was playing. But anyway, we would just go out there and wreck. You know, guys from the city would just meet out there and wreck. So what happened, the guy caught me out there and was like, you know, what's up, man? You know, I see you out here every day, man. You know, what you doing? I'm like, listen, man, I ain't doing nothing. I'm trying to play some basketball somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, I said, man, I just graduated from West Virginia. You know what I mean? You know, was hoping to get drafted. So he's like, listen, man, well, I train guys, man. And he told me from the door, man, I ain't no agent or nothing, but I can get you a job overseas. I ain't no agent or nothing, but I can help you get overseas. And that was all I needed to hear.
Yeah.
That was all I needed to hear. And I was like, what you need from me? I just need you to be ready. You know, that guy, man, he lived in Delaware. He came to pick me up every day. Like I said, Charles Smith.
Yep.
And Ralph Blaylock, man, he's from Delaware, monster on the court, man. He grew up in Chester too, though. You know, we go train every day. And when I started training, it was like, that's all I needed to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is all I needed to do to get my game. Like, because I felt it. Like, it was like, wow, like, this is it?
Yeah.
Like, because I can play all day.
Yeah.
Like, stamina or nothing was a problem to me. Like, I wasn't drinking or smoking when I was playing basketball. I was dedicated to my craft. So I didn't have to worry about stamina. it was the mental part of it, just slowing it down and stop trying to use my ability all the time. Just play, using your brain. So when I started doing that, it was off to the races. It was off to the races. So he helped me get overseas. I went to the island of Malta. Went to Malta my first year. So I'm hungry, man. Like I said, I don't have an agent. So my whole thing is, man, here I go again. Yeah. I got an opportunity. Let's make the best of it, man. Got my trip over there, man. Then look back, like everybody was a, you know what I mean? Like, you an enemy to me. Yeah. I was out there. I'm going after everybody. Like, you know what I mean? Not selfishly, but you know what I mean. And we wound up winning the championship where I was at. That was like I was starting from the lower end, the lower tier. I'm trying to get to where I had to get at. So I started from the bottom. I went to Malta, not making a lot of money. You know what I mean? But whatever I made, sent it home to my family, whatever. So, but all I know is I got an opportunity to get where I want to get at. Yep. So I went to Malta. Like I said, we won a championship, man. You know what I mean? Coach loved me. He's like, I know you're not going to be able to come back here, man. You're too good to be back here. So the next year I went, came on, worked out. I got a job over in Finland. So now the level is a lot higher. You know, the pay is a little better. So I'm working my way up the ladder. You know what I mean? And then, caught a bad break there. Wow. Caught a bad break there, man. They came down for real. They didn't have the money to pay me. Oh, wow. You know what I mean? Because it was another guy over there. He was an American, right? He was becoming a Finnish citizen. So there was going to be like 3 Americans on one team. So they didn't have the money to pay me. But I'm the best player on the team. So anyway, man, we wound up, during the season, finding out that my coach is a little on the racial side. Didn't see it early, but we starting to see like little, man, this guy was from Chicago I was playing with. Started getting like like little comments there or how they was acting towards us. And,
yeah, so, caught little glimpses of things.
yeah, so the guy that was going to become a citizen, he was out. He had surgery on his knee or something, so he was waiting to get back. You know what I mean? So he honestly kept it he was kept it a beam with me, kept it honest with me. He's like, listen, man, these guys don't have the money to pay you. He said, not coming back, they got to pay me. He said, I'm telling you right now, they don't have the money to pay you. He is like, I know. He said, I noticed y'all been, getting a little flack from the coach. He said, I'm telling you now, like, he a little racist. So we wound up having a situation in practice, man. Teammate supposed to have been the best player in Finland. Yeah. My team.
Uh-huh.
So I said, really? You're the best defensive player in Finland? Really? So what? Oh man. Oh man, I'm licking my chops like, okay, we wait find out then. We wait find out.
That's
we
right.
Find out. So anyway, the season going along, man, we losing games I ain't used to losing. You know what I mean? So we losing games. So like I said, it started being shown on the team, man. Like it started being shown we would come into the locker room at halftime, all those guys sit on one side, and it's just me and my man sitting on the other side, and they talking in Finnish. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, yo, y'all gonna sit out in English now?
Yeah.
Like, so the situation was bad. You know what I mean? We not
yeah.
winning games, so it was bad. So, you know what I mean? We get in practice, so now I'm upset. So, I'm like, I'm going to take it out on this joker in practice today. So, he couldn't get a bucket on me. I'm wearing him out on the other end. He called himself throwing the ball at me. You know what I mean? So I jumped at him because, reacting to him throwing the ball at me, he turned like trying to run and split his head on the guardrail, on the joint. They looking at me like I did it.
Yeah.
So anyway, all that stuff wound up, man, they wound up calling me they wound up coming to my apartment, you know what I mean, with, with some excuse. We gotta let you go, but I was like, boss, so what I did, when I signed off on the paper, I voided my contract, so I didn't get my bread. So that was that was like kind of the end of my basketball career.
Wow.
That was it. That was like 2000, 2001. So here I go. Now here I go into this funk again. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm like, oh, shucks. Like, you know what I mean? So here we go again. So that's when I was down for like a little while, man. I was down for like a stretch. Like, just couldn't get out of that funk. Here first it was not the draft, couldn't get in that. Now here I go again. So
you think things would have been different if you would have had an agent? Like kind of,
I think a lot of stuff would have been different. I think I would have been in the NBA if I had an agent. I'm gonna leave it with this one so you can get on to what you got to get to. But I had an opportunity, man. I almost had an opportunity to get a trial with the Sixers.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Philly's ambassador, Sonny Hill, man. From what I heard, he stopped that from happening for me.
Okay.
Not good.
Wow.
The guy that I was dealing with, man, Mike John, like I said, that I played with at Chester High. This guy that he was, it was his business guy as far as like accountant or whatever, because Mike John had a restaurant with him back then. So he was like an agent too, /agent. So the videotapes that I had from overseas, the only two I had left, man, I gave them to him. We met him at his office. So we like, man, you could play. I'm like, yeah, man, I can play. You know what I mean? So, he like, man, yeah, everybody come in here and say they can play. I said, man, well, look. Ask any of the guys that I played with from this area in Philly could not play basketball. Jerome Allen, like I said, all those, I played, that was my era, those guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I said, you can ask them, man. You can ask them around. So, we got home, all this, man. Like, yeah, man, the guy said you can play a little bit. Like, yeah. So he like, well, we're going to try to make something happen. So, yeah, man. So I gave him my, I like, man, these are my last couple games that I have. So I gave them to him.
And back then, things weren't on YouTube. Like, you actually had your
none of that stuff. Yeah.
You had your tapes.
You I was trying to hold on. Yeah.
Film.
Hold on. Yeah, so I gave them to him, man. And, man, Mike John had left his office, man. And we talking. We like, feel good about what he going to try to do. So he called me. He called us up. We on the phone. We in the car. We like, listen, man. I'm sitting here with Billy King right now, man. He looking at the joint, man. He impressed with what he's saying. That's what I like to hear. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I like to hear. Like, give me a try.
Yeah.
I think Allen just probably coming to Philly at the time. Man, listen, everybody at that time can't, like in the streets, just can't play with AI. I said, man, get me out there with AI. I can run around with that joke. I love to run the floor.
That's right.
So anyway, he like, man, yeah, man. So hopefully I got some good news when I call you back. I'm gonna have some official for you.
Wow.
Man, he called me back, man. His whole tone was different. The attitude was saying, like, he like, man, listen, Said the boy walked by, man, come back in here, man, sit down. And totally like just shame me though. Like I'm like, Sonny Hill don't know nothing about me.
Oh,
like he totally said, yo, you don't want to take a chance on this guy. He, you know what I mean, he you know, where I come from.
yeah.
My friends who I hang around. So that influenced the boy not to give me a tryout. So that was like another smack in the face. But it was like, man, all right, okay. All right, man, we just gonna keep it moving. So like I said, man, it was down for a little bit, and I started helping Pooh, man, Pooh Evans, you know, Tyreek brother.
Of course, yeah, that's my man.
Yeah,
I'm glad you mentioned that because I saw in the research that I did earlier, it mentioned your relationship and everything with Pooh, how he kind of helped you, you know, kind of just supported you. I guess that was a really positive relationship. So continue to talk about that, man. I'm glad you were getting into that.
Well, you know, man, he popped up on me one day, man. Popped up on me and was like, man, we, you know, need a minute to speak to you. And I was like, what's up? So, you know, we met, we sat down where I actually train at now, at the building I train at now. We met over there. It used to be New Beginning School. We met over there, sat down, man. It was like, listen, man, I need you to help me out with training these kids. So it was like the blessing I needed. Because I don't know whether I was coming or going at that time, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I was a step away from probably doing something I had no business doing. Like, you know what I mean? That's where I was at. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't no basketball, man. Like, you know what I mean? Out here living an everyday life, man. So that kind of was the blessing I needed, man. And then kind of propelled me on to the point where I'm at now. I'm doing my own thing. So, you know, I thank them a lot, man, for just bringing me on, man.
Elaborate, talk more about that. Tell the people what you're doing now and kind of. And also what it's done for your life.
So, you know, like just doing that alone, man, like I said, it was like a breath of fresh air. And I was already in the mix of like just training. I had trained Pooh and my brother, getting them prepared for when they was playing at Cheney.
Yes.
So, you know what I mean? So it was like, I was already doing it. Like, you know what I mean? I had a couple guys. She said I'm being modest. I had a couple guys, man. I had a couple guys that I was training, man. And they enjoyed the workouts, so it was like, all right, okay, all right, I can do this joint. So when things went a little sideways with me and Pooh, man, I just decided to do my own thing. So I started doing my own thing, and I knew it wasn't a problem. It wasn't a problem with me, you know, like doing it. It was just like just doing it. I mean, like, don't think about it, just go ahead and do it. So we started. Definitely being modest, this guy, man. So you know what I mean. So man, the more I got involved, man, and I also always say to anybody I was training, I was like, you know what I mean, you can't take a day off. Like, you can't take no days off, man. You can't take no days off. You know what I mean. So I just took it and just cut it short, like NDO, man. NDO, look, these guys, man. He trained half my AU. Come on, man. Come on, coach. Like, she's speaking, right? One of the best female basketball players to ever come from out our city.
No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, you see Strick on here, like, Strick my man. That's when I was playing, like, Strick was my youngin', like, for real. And look, this is my wife. Everybody want to be on deck. Once you did it, there was no turning back. Look, see, that's my man, Strick. But, you know, like, man, it was just like, man, this is what the calling was. Like, I mean, this is what it was. Like, and so the more I started doing it, it was like all the worries, man, like everything that could have went wrong, that went wrong in my life, man. It was like, this is what God got me out here to be doing, man. This is what you're supposed to be doing right here, right now. And I got blessed, man, to be at the building that I'm at now. You know what I mean? I've been there for like the last 4 or 5 years. And to be able, like I said, to be able to put my hands on the youth out in Chester is one of the things that I love to do. Like I said, I speak to them more about life than I speak about sports. The city been through a little bit lately. Yeah. Like, you know, the high school team lost, like, you know, 3 or 4 of their players, like 2 guys off the team. Yeah, so I've been watching that. Which I was in the gym with. I was in the gym with those guys, and one of the guys, man, he was my young buck, man. You know what I mean? I stayed on him, man. Everybody called him Stone, man. And when I got the information that they had got shot, man, it kind of hurt. It hurt. like, you know what I mean? It hurt, man. It hurt. And then you turn around, man, a couple more guys get touched, man. So city been hit with a little, you know what I mean, with some tough times, man, but ain't nothing that we can't get through. We, you know, pull together, man, try to put our hands on these kids as much as we can, because we got a small role in, you know, and we all got a role to play. You know what I mean? Especially where we live at, man. It takes everybody to be able to help these kids out, because they need it.
No doubt.
They need it, and they need us. You know what I mean? And then I'm just glad I got an outlet to be able to have them. You know, they can come out and be in the gym for like 2 or 3 hours of the day, man. They ain't gotta be on the streets.
No
and
doubt.
For me, like I said, for me it was just the icing on the cake. It just took away all the pain and everything that I was worrying about. Like, because I put so much on my own shoulders. You know what I mean? I put so much on myself. And I think that's half of it. That was half of my depression. Yeah. I had put so much on myself to make it out. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I wanted to be the first one from the city. I wanted to be the first one from my project to make it out. Like, you know what I mean? I put that on myself to do that. And when it didn't happen, it hit me the hardest. Like, you know what I mean? And like I said, I locked myself away for a little bit, knowing when I do come out, I'm in here to, you know, I'm in here to yeah. So I just found a way, man. I just blocked the stuff out, you know. And then, but once I got into what it was, when I found out what it was I was supposed to have been doing, and when I started doing it, all my problems went away, man. All my problems went away, and it's just a blessing that I can come up, I can get outside, and I can get in the gym, man. I can have an impact on some of these kids' lives, man. And it's good. It's good, man. So I have a lot of young bucks that I got my hands on that's doing some great things out here, man. Like from not high school and college and everything, man. I got, you know, graduating college, man. That's a blessing, man. I got, you know what I mean, girls that's at Navy, at Syracuse, man. They everywhere, at Morgan State, at Marshall. They run around, like, you know what I mean? It's just, and they always hit me up, like, you know what I mean? My young boy, he ain't on here, but my guy, Shabazz, man, Stanley. That's my guy, man. Stanley Davis is his real name, but that's my man. That's my young boy, man. He doing good things, man. I got girl Naya, man. Some girls out here, man. They doing some awesome things. So I'm gonna continue on, man. Continue on doing what I do. Doing what I do.
Question for you. Question for you. How does it make you feel inside? Tell me what goes through your mind and through your heart when a young buck see you in the neighborhood. You could be at the grocery store or something, and he say, "Hey, coach, what's up, coach?" And he says to his mom, "That's my coach." How does it make you feel, man? Listen, man.
619. That's my young. That's another one right there, man. He on here, 619. That's my young boy. Like, and I'm gonna tell you, man. It's to do that is awesome. It's awesome. Like, you know what I mean? To get that from the kids. A lot of times, if I'm out with my wife or something, she's like, "Man, everywhere we go, at somebody know you." I'm like, "Babe, it's just come with the territory. It's a basketball thing." You know what I mean? Like, we was in Vegas one time, and somebody ran up on me. She was mad. Like, "Man, can't go nowhere. Somebody know you, man." Like, but this is awesome. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we be in the stores. Like, "What's up, coach?" I'm like, "All right," because we rep the brand, man. We rep NDO. I mean, we do the NDO thing, man. We, you know, I give them bands, I give them shirts.
Yes.
I mean, so, you know what I mean? They all, I make sure all my young bucks run around with some gear on, man. No days off. We can't afford to. We want to shout out to my guy Celine's right here, man. All these are my guys, man.
No doubt. Hey,
like, I just build great relationships with the guys that I don't mean to cut you off, but the kids and stuff around, man. I try to build a relationship with them, man. Like, a lot of the kids and stuff that I've been around them since they've been 6, 7, 8 years old. You know what I mean? And I watched them grow up. Like, I done watched them to the point, like I said, they in college doing awesome things, and that's the gift. That's the blessing that I enjoy from being around them kids and helping them out.
No doubt.
And one other thing, man, I'm gonna have to say this because somebody did put it on here. I ain't mention his name, but one guy that fueled my fire to play the game was Stephen Whip Cooper, man. If you ain't never heard of him, you look him up, man. Whip Cooper, man. Stephen Whip Cooper.
Yeah.
A phenomenon.
Chester guy?
Yes, phenomenon. Like, one thing about the city, man, shout out to my city though, man, but one thing about the city, we put out basketball players. It ain't just basketball. It's basketball, football, singers, songwriters, I mean, authors, man. Like, we doing a lot of positive things in the city, man. It's good to see. It's good to see. And, you know, because our city always getting the negative spotlight, man, but throw some shine on it, man. Like, there's a lot of people doing a lot of productive things out here, man, doing a lot of things the right way. So hopefully those things trickle down to the next generation of kids. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to be part of the process, man. Try to be part of the solution, man, not the problem.
No doubt. If reflect on this for me real quick. If you could, you know, have a time machine like the DeLorean and come, you know, Back to the Future, and go back and change something about your past, is there anything that you think you change or at least want to do over or no?
Probably not.
Okay.
Ain't nothing I would do over.
Gotcha.
Because, you know, everything was part of the plan.
Gotcha.
Everything was part of God's plan. Now I look back on it now, like I said, I was my biggest critic, man. I was like, why are these things happening?
Yeah.
Like, why I can't get over the hump? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why I didn't catch a break?
Uh-huh.
I mean, once I got over those hurdles, man, like, it was just no turning back.
No doubt.
Like, you know what I mean? It was just like, I don't care what nobody had to say. Like, now, like, I can care less about what somebody had to say. Mm-hmm. Man, like, listen, I'm tuned in, man. I'm tuned in. I'm loving what I do. I'm loving to have, like I said, loving to have the kids, man, in a situation where I can help them out. At least I can try to help them out and help guide them in the right direction.
No doubt.
Do the program.
No doubt. Well, I just have two more questions for you, and it's one to
remind
people.
Mo Nelson, man. You know Mo Nelson, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's my guy.
My guys, man. They my guys,
that's
man.
my man, for sure.
Yeah, shooting machine, man. He gonna put him down, man. That's my guy right there.
That's one thing that he definitely pride himself on, is putting that thing up.
Because that's what he can do.
That's right.
Play.
That's
like,
right.
You know, and I don't mean to cut you off, but like, you know, man, like anywhere else, man, we got a lot of guys, man, that can play basketball. They just didn't get the opportunity. Or they didn't put the effort in to chase their dream. You know what I mean? And that's one thing and that's part of it, man. You try to help some of these kids like realize you can do whatever you want to do if you put your mind and your heart to it, man. Don't let the negative things you go through stop you from chasing everything you want to do. I'm a prime example.
That's right.
I'm a prime example, man. I bumped my head every way possible, man. Not making it, getting in trouble, getting locked up. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm still here, losing a lot of friends in the streets, man. Losing family. Like those things could have broke me. Like, you know what I mean? But I used all that stuff as fuel. I used it as motivation. I used it as a way, like, that's gonna make me get out of here. Like, or now it's just, I'm just trying to stay focused on what I'm doing, man. Take care of my family, man. You know what I mean? Get around my kids, my own kids, and spend some time and help these kids out here in these streets.
No doubt. Well, one last thing, man, talking about the kids, I just want to remind the people real quick. Hey, people, I appreciate y'all. I can't say it enough for tuning in, listening to Zain tell his story. I'm about to turn it over to you guys after I ask one more question. We will have a Q&A. So right now, if y'all want to, anything you're thinking of, any questions you have for Zain about his whole story, his history, basketball, whatever, start typing some questions, and I'm going to let Zain, you know, interact with the people and ask some questions. One last thing, Zain, if you can, you've already done it. If you just can, a few seconds, just speak to the kids, man, and you know, give the kids some words of wisdom, some keys to success, and we'll kind of close out there with my questions, and I'll let you interact with the people.
Like I tell all my kids, man. Like I tell all the kids I come across, man, and like I tell Jokers could be 25 years old. I talk to my sons the same way, man. Try to separate yourself from everything negative. Because you're already going to have negative things happen in your life. You know, like, don't think your life is going to be perfect. Like, you're going to hit some pitfalls, man. You're going to have some ups and downs. You're going to have some great times. You're going to have some bad times. But as long as you keep your, you know, keep your eyes on the prize, man. Stay focused. I mean, don't bow down to these. I mean, like, because it's easy to bow down. It's easy to bow down and get caught up in the streets. It's easy. It's easy. I mean, you got your friends out there in the streets, man. If they're going to pull you along, they're going to pull you along. They're not thinking about your well-being. They're not thinking about, you know, this kid might got a bright future. You know what I mean? They just want you to be running around with them, and you can't allow yourself to get caught up in those things, man. Like, you just can't. You know what I mean? So, you know, I always tell them, man, stay focused. Put yourself around positive people, because positive things will happen for you. And, man, get your education. And if it's anything, it don't have to be basketball. Whatever it is that you choose to do, if you just lock into it, man, and take it one day at a time, you'll wind up being right where you want to be at the end of the day. So it's just all about staying focused, working hard. I mean, don't accept no handouts. Like I tell on the basketball side, man, like if I can't coach you, you're going to have a hard time, man. You got to be coachable. You got to be willing to listen. And you just got to be willing to work hard. And that's what I tell my kids all the time.
No doubt. Well, hey, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate
All right, y'all, man. Love you too, man. Guys on here.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it. We going into 2 hours, man. So I just want to, say my thank yous right now, man. So I just want to thank you so much for your time. Thanks for being transparent. Thanks for sharing your story. Thanks for allowing Big Star and Raw Sports to help to solidify your legacy, to educate the younger generation. It's awesome. This interview.
What's up, Strick? I appreciate that, Strick, man. That Strick said something. I'm trying to see you talking to you, but I appreciate it, man. Look, listen. This is real rap, man. This is between, like, I've never spoken to no one.
Wow.
I mean, about nothing I've done. This is the first time I've done it.
Thank you, man.
Like I'm kind of reserved in that respect, man. Like I've been, like, you know what I mean? Like my story, like I plan on trying to get my documentary. I'm trying to do a documentary in a little while,
no
man.
Doubt,
like,
no doubt.
My story need to be told, like, but
yes.
I took the opportunity, man. When you hit me and you asked me, man, it was just like, it was in my heart to do it. Like, you know what I mean? Man. It was in my heart to do it. So, like, it's an honor, man. I appreciate you bringing me on just so I can sit here and you know, and talk to you and everybody else wherever it was on, man. Like, so, man, the feelings is mutual, man. I appreciate it, man. Raw Sports, man. Like, I appreciate you bringing me on. And you know what I mean?
No doubt.
Like,
well, I'm sure this was just being able to vent and just to share was, I'm sure, possibly, you know, therapeutic for you as it was for myself, man, because I get a lot out of this as well, man. Just, you know, hearing from individuals like you. One thing I was about to say was this interview was really special because one of my goals is with this old, you know, paying homage to the legends and everything is being able to bring all generations together. So I seen you had a lot of your guys on here from the 80s and 90s. And then also you got your kids on here that you train now, the young kids. So all the generations are on here getting the information and hearing about you, man. So that's also special.
Yeah, man, like I said, man, it's all thanks to you, man. I shared this with you. I shared my first and only interview with you, man. Come on, man. Come on.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it back, man. I appreciate it, man.
That's what's up.
You know, you need me again, man. I'll be here for you.
Say less, say no more. All right, without further ado, we're gonna hey people, if y'all listening, start asking my man Zain Shaw some questions. I have one here.
My young boy 619, man. He said, man, he needed to come through and come down and check us out, man. We be in the gym, man. We gonna lock ourselves in the gym.
Say less. Soon as the world opens back up, soon as everything opens back up, Big Star is there. I'm there.
Yeah, he doing big things
and
too,
I need
man.
I need my no days.
I got you. Say less.
I'm
man.
there.
Say less.
I'm
there. I already got you, man. They in the trunk, man. I got something for you, man. I got something for you, man. I got something for you.
Let me see. So ABZ6 wants to know what's your top 5 all time coming out of Chester, but I need you to put yourself at the #1 spot.
If I had to be at the #1 spot, I would say, all right, myself 1. Herman Harris got to be #2. Just because I broke his record.
Yep.
And man, I'm biased, man. I got brothers that won chips, man. I got my brother Solo. I got my brother Devin. Man, I take my young boy Rondé, man.
That's legendary 5 right there.
I mean, that's just keeping it fair because, listen, like, see, I wasn't around to see Jameer play in high school, man. I missed that.
Yeah.
I was in school myself. Like, I rarely seen my brother play. I didn't see none of them guys. I didn't see Rondé. But one thing that people don't know with Rondé and his brother, man, like, they my young boys.
Yeah.
If he was on here, he'd tell you, like, I used to walk down the block and take him around the corner and wear them out every day, both of them, until they got it right, though. Like, you know what I mean? So that's it, man. Yeah, that's. I mean, the list, man. That's why I don't get into the thing, man. If you was around, man, it's an everyday thing, man. Who was the top 5?
Yeah.
Who the top 10 you would take in Chester? Who had the best team? Listen, I'm just glad to be part of it. I'm just glad that my name is just to be in the conversation. It's etched in stone, bro. It's etched. I'm in Chester's lore, man. I'm in the list with the greatest to ever play at the high school. So I don't get into the, you know what I mean, who was this, who was that. I'm just glad I'm in the mix.
No doubt.
I'm just glad, man, I had the opportunity to play for the Orange and Black, man, and did some things over there, man. Those years at Chester High. Like, Chester got the best fans ever, man. Chester got the best fans ever, man. Like, to be in that gym, man, you get in that gym, man, we get going in that joint, you in trouble. It's like our fans on top of you, man, but they the best, man. Like, because they on you when we lose, but, you know, they like the Eagles fans sort of kind of, man. Like, straight up, man, you need those. I ain't ashamed of them type.
What have you done for me? What have you done for us lately?
Yeah, if I sucked last night, all right, I sucked last night. But, you know what I mean? We playing good, man. Everything good. So, man, like, you know, like I said, man, I said it at the beginning. Who I was and who I am as a basketball player, man. it started in that Wilburn project, man, that I grew up in, man.
No doubt.
There wouldn't no be me without the project.
Big D's 53 wants to know, did you play with Jared Kearse at West Virginia? I don't think so.
Nah.
No, yeah.
Nah, I left there in 95.
Okay. Got you.
Yeah, I left there in 95.
Any more questions? Y'all throw, anybody watching right now, type some questions for my man Zain Shaw, the legend. We got the legend in the building. Throw some questions at him before we tune out. Hey, I got a question. What's that picture? I see a picture in back of you. Is that you?
Yeah, man. My wife put this wall together for me, man. It's like
what
game
is that? What game is that?
It's like a collage. It's like a collage. Like that's where my gym is at over here to my left shoulder. That's like me in the gym with a bunch of basketballs around me. This one right here, that's at West Virginia. They both at West Virginia. Got an overseas clip. You feel me? They like in the middle. They overseas. See that Chester High joint at the top?
Yes.
That's me and my pop. The one up there in the middle. That's the Pure Game League. Remember the Pure Game League?
Yes, I remember that.
It was out media. See, so my wife did this to me, man. Awesome,
that's
man.
dope, man. That's hot, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Wifey, man. Wifey's always on point, man.
Yeah, she keep me. You know what I mean? I come down here, man. Some nights I just like, wow, man. Like, kind of keep me like, yo, you did some things out there. You did some hard things out there, man. So yeah, shout out to my wife, man. She bust the wall downstairs, man.
No doubt.
My man. Like, you know what I mean? See, these are my guys, man. I ain't even mentioning the fact, man. I had coached out Delaware County. Man. Again, man, like connected with some great young men, and we spent days and nights on the road together, man. That's them right there, man. I love them guys, man. Salim, man, my young boy, Big Mike, Money Mike. So, hey, man, like one of my friends, man, one of my closest friends, he tell me all the time. He said, man, because we just talk about life. He's like, listen, man, when you leave here, he's like, man, you're gonna have a boatload of people at your joint. So. I'm like, yeah. He's like, man, you just don't know the impact you have. And sometimes I sit back and like, man, I just hope I'm doing the right thing, man. Like with the kids that I'm stuck, people that I'm around, man. That's all.
Yeah.
Just trying to give them the honesty, man. Keep it fair when I'm being honest, and try to help them get better.
No doubt. Well, hey, that's pretty much it. That's all I have, man.
Appreciate it, man.
I can't thank you.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it, man. It's dope.
This was good. You felt it?
Yeah. Hey, listen. I don't know if you're going to record, but I'm going to have to get a copy of this joint.
Oh, listen, done deal. So what I do is, so after this is done.
Look at Strick. See, I know Strick going to be on Facebook later, right? He said, who plays like you from back home other than me?
Let Strick, I need some questions. Go ahead, Strick.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, Strick is my guy. Like, you feel me? I always tell him, like, outside, like, I seen a lot of myself in his game when he was, like, when he was playing it. Yeah, man, it was hard to guard. Like, that's my guys, though. They are my guys.
He said,
if it ain't outside of Strick, it's my brother.
That's what I'm saying. Other than him, your brother.
Solo and Devin. Like, the only other people that come playing, come looking like me on the basketball court, man, it got to be my family. But outside of that, my family, man, like, Strick, my man. Strick, hard-nosed guy, man. And to give a shout-out to him, man, he do a hell of a job with like what he do out here with these kids too, man. Like he got his hands on these kids too, man. Like I said, shout out because it take a whole bunch of us, man. Score Lord, that's him, man. Score Lord Jr. But yeah, man, like I said, outside of my brother Solo and Dev, man. Yeah, I used to sit back and like, damn, he looked like me with that shit he just did out. like damn, Strick, that shit was nice. But yeah, man. So man.
Yeah. Hey, so what I'm gonna do is, as soon as we're done now, tonight I'm gonna upload the full interview to my YouTube channel, to my Raw Sports Films YouTube channel, and in the morning I'm gonna send you the link, and then it's there. You can share the link, and then the story's there forever.
Score Alert, look, Score Alert, man. That's my man. That's my man. You know what I mean? Like he remembered that. He remember Strick played in that alumni. The one game I played in, that was a hell of a game too, man. We went back and forth like crazy.
What the alumni game?
Yeah, him and Pooh probably had like 40 points apiece or some shit, man. But we had a ball though. It got real intense down the stretch.
It got intense. Like the All-Star game. It started out a little, you know what I mean? Then toward the stretch where they try to win. It get crazy.
And then man, and that was like I said, man, you can't get those days back, man. Like I appreciate all the man, like I remember just summers playing against those guys, man. Summers just preparing myself to be on another level. But like again, man, just want them to know, man, like all the kids, all the jokers that was from the city, man, that I didn't get to see play, like that was my whole thing leaving high school, man. Trust me, was to set the bar where like you guys can go to school. That was my whole thing, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to crack the door open so all my young boys that's coming up behind me, like my brother was coming up behind me, my cousins, you know, my other brothers that was coming up, man, listen, you can go wherever you want to go to school at. You know what I mean? You can go wherever you want to go at. So, you know, they can hear from me today, man, that was my whole, like I said, I had a lot of dreams, man. I had a lot of things I was trying to get done, and I wanted to make myself proud, my family proud, my mom, my brother, my father, and my whole family. And on top of that, I was trying to make my city, man, proud, man, you know?
Well, if you didn't know, you know now. And I mean this from the top and the bottom of my heart. I'm proud of you, brother.
Hey, man, I appreciate it.
I'm so proud of you, man, because, I mean, all right, for example, you remind me of, okay, I'm going to be transparent real quick myself, and then we out. I grew up, you know, my mom, you know, still, you know, battling. She's 72 years old. I grew up under my father. I didn't have a father. You know, it was just my mom. I had 3 older brothers, but it was a large gap. So and they were it was like a 10-year gap. So they were all out of the house, and it was just me and mom. My mom was, you know, lifelong schizophrenic, bipolar, manic depression. You know, so that's who raised me. That's who I came up under. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
My childhood years were crazy, insane, like a movie, right?
Yeah, trying to learn, man.
You know what I'm saying? So
trying to get through, man.
Yeah. So
love you too, man. Love y'all too, man. Love you too, man.
So my barber, Buddy Epps from Norristown, was like my father figure. If he wasn't inserted in my life at that time, I don't know where I would have been. Right. So you kind of remind me of that individual, metaphorically, like for the younger kids that you're in position for now, dog.
Right.
Like I'm saying, like God's plan, dog, this whole thing was not about you at all.
It wasn't about me, man.
It wasn't about you.
It wasn't about me the whole time.
The kids that you're out there working with, man, helping to save, they're looking up to you as father figures and all that, the advice you're giving them, that's what it's all about, man. You're saving lives, man. So I say all that to say, I'm proud of you, man.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it, man. Just appreciate it, bro. That means a lot, man. It means a lot, man. Like I said, man, like, you know, anybody else would probably would have said, nah, I ain't going to do no interview. Like, you know what I mean? But it was just like, it was you. I was like, yeah, man, you gonna get that, I mean, do that, man. That's why I said I couldn't wait to sit down with you, man. I really appreciate it, man. It was an honor, man. It was an honor. It was an honor to sit here with you for a couple hours and then spend time talking about.
Well, I appreciate you, man. I can't say it enough. So shout out to No Days Off, man. When the world,
yeah, no doubt, man. We're gonna keep it going.
I'm out there with that is at the bottom. I'm out there. I gotta see all the young bulls with the camera. We're gonna get it down.
Man, listen, we got them. Hey, listen, man, we got them in the gym. Got them, bro. We got some things out here running around, man. Like, you know, eventually, man, I'm trying to wind up doing my own summer league. I got my clients, man. They gotta be seen, man. We got a lot of young talent, man.
You get it going. Big Star's there with the camera. We gonna make it happen.
We gonna make it happen. Hey, whoever want to need a shirt, man, you just gotta come see me, man. Come to Chester, man. Come check me out, man. I got a shirt for you.
All right, hey, we out, man.
Appreciate you.
In the morning, I'm gonna send you the link to the thing so we can share it, and we're gonna keep it going. Thanks again for your time.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. One love.
All right, now. Yep.